The greatest mystery of our sky has become even stranger. Leading scientists from Harvard claim that it could be nothing more and nothing less than a nuclear and planetary device. Comet 3 and Loss, an alien from a distant star system, was supposed to be a scientific discovery, but as it approached, it revealed its true nature. Our four most advanced space telescopes simultaneously observed the object changing color, turning aggressively blood red. The light that challenges all known astrophysics theories turned out not to be a discovery, but an activation. Now the cosmic forces of the United States are preparing for a scenario that just last week seemed pure science fiction. In the cold and silent theater of space, we are accustomed to certain rules. Comets glow with a ghostly green or blue, asteroids shimmer dimly, and stars emit predictable light. But it's not that simple. On a day that would likely be remembered for a long time in closed circles, these rules were broken. The story begins with the Comet 3, and from Loss. For several months, she behaved normally, appearing as a faint blurred spot racing at nearly 100,000 miles per hour, becoming brighter as she approached the sun. Astronomers worldwide were thrilled. It was a rare chance to study a fragment of another star system. But then everything changed, suddenly and without warning. The first signal of alarm was the Spitzer infrared telescope. It recorded a sharp and powerful burst of heat from the comet's core. This was unusual, but not unprecedented. Comets often crack and release trapped gases, but then came the real shock. James Webb, the most powerful telescope ever created, also observed the object. Its data arrived within minutes, and the scientists could not believe their eyes. The blurred atmosphere around the comet changed color. A typical greenish glow caused by excited sunlight faded, giving way to a deep, pulsating purple red. This color was a huge red flag. In astronomy, red can mean many things. The presence of complex organic compounds or light shift due to rapid movement. But in this case, it looked different. The shade was too pure, too uniform, resembling a switch being turned on rather than a natural process. Panic engulfed the scientific community. The legendary Hubble telescope was redirected, and its sharp optics confirmed the data obtained. Even Kepler, who was formally retired, measured the brightness curve as part of an extended mission. The results matched across all four main instruments. 3. And from Last transformed into a hostile blood-red object, emitting its own light rather than simply reflecting the sun. And one more important point. The light was not uniform. It pulsed in a complex repeating rhythm, almost like a heartbeat with an interval of 84.6 seconds. It was a signal. The scientific community officially entered a state of controlled panic. This is no longer a comet in the usual sense, but something entirely different, disguised as a comet. The object activated, using solar energy, dropped its disguise, and began transmitting signals. The data was instantly marked and sent along the chain, far beyond NASA. It ended up on the desk of a specific group of specialists at the Space Force's base in Andenberg, because when something from another star system unexpectedly begins to emit a huge pulsing red beacon, it turns from a scientific mystery into a security issue. This is not a simple comet, and after the information was confirmed, the rules of the game changed. Now it is no longer a task for scientists, but a matter for military analysts and cryptographers. The U.S. Space Force, the newest branch of the armed forces, was created specifically for such situations. A potential threat from outside. For several hours, a secret group was formed, with a project and a task. Their sole purpose was to find out what the Tri-Eye tunnel was, what it wanted, and whether it posed a danger. The first step was signal analysis. His rhythm was 804.6 seconds, too perfect for natural origin. Natural objects spin and tumble, but do not produce clear sounds like clocks. The best cryptographers on the planet, usually engaged in decrypting mail and phone calls, were now tasked with finding patterns in the stream of information coming from an object hundreds of millions of miles from Earth. It quickly became clear that this impulse was not as simple as it initially seemed. Within each red flash lay trillions of faster oscillations, complex streams of information masked in the main signal, as if an entire library was contained in a single word. The problem lay in the translation. It was a language based on physics that humanity was just beginning to understand. While cryptologists worked on the decryption, space forces deployed all available sensors aimed at the object. The Space Observation Network, global telescopes, and radars were supposed to clarify its size, shape, and composition. The initial data shocked as much as the color of the signal. The object was about 2 miles long and resembled a long, thin shard of glass. However, the radar behaved strangely. Either the object completely absorbed the radiation like a stealth bomber, or it reflected it with incredible intensity. Moreover, the thermal signature showed that its outer shell glowed red, while the temperature in the core remained only 3 degrees above absolute zero. This contradicted the laws of science. It was impossible to have such powerful radiation on the surface and nearly absolute zero in the center. It resembled a campfire that remained icy inside. This single fact turned out to be more terrifying than all the rest. The object uses technologies that are completely unknown to us, not just advanced versions of our own, but built on a different understanding of physics. Therefore, the level of anxiety increased. It was not just a source of signal, but something capable of manipulating energy and matter in ways we cannot. The question shifted from what it says to what it can do. As intelligence agencies worldwide got stuck on decryption, the focus shifted from code to defense. Now the task was not to understand the message, but to prepare for possible contact. The most important question was trajectory. Where was the Tri-Eye object heading? Initially, forecasts predicted that the object would simply fly around the sun and drift into interstellar space, with no chance of return. However, this is no longer just a comet, but an intelligently controlled apparatus, and any change in its course could have colossal consequences. Space forces, utilizing powerful radio telescopes around the world, began round-the-clock monitoring, searching for signs of correction, any hints of maneuver. For weeks, nothing happened. The object continued on its cometary trajectory. Someone in the Pentagon sighed with relief, thinking it was just a rare natural phenomenon or a beautiful light show. But the veterans of the U.S. Air Force knew better. In war, the cards are not revealed in advance, and if it is an umbrella, it will start to move when it is ready. Then something unexpected happened. The change was so minor that it was almost unnoticed. Passing by Mars, the object slowed down more than expected. The planet's gravity was supposed to pull it and significantly alter its trajectory, but that didn't happen. It seemed that the pull of an entire planet was nothing for it. For an object 2 miles long, this was a shocking discovery, as it meant it had an internal drive capable of counteracting gravity. It was actively fighting the pull of the planets. This became conclusive evidence. The object was artificial, a probe with a specific purpose. The mood within the team shifted from tense observation to serious concern. It was about technology capable of neutralizing gravity. Our most advanced rockets still rely on controlled explosions, akin to encountering a ghost passing through walls. An unspoken anxiety grew. Special satellite groups were activated to develop defensive strategies to stop what was not subject to gravity, to protect against technologies whose nature was still unknown to us. At this stage, the mission expanded. The U.S. Space Forces began to explore not only the probe, but also Earth, searching for other strange signals and unusual sightings of unidentified aerial phenomena, operating under a chilling assumption. Perhaps the probe is not alone, but merely a scout. For those trying to make sense of what is happening, this story sounds like a plot from a Hollywood movie. A mysterious object, a strange signal, a secret military group. It's easy to dismiss it, but it's not about belief. It's about facts. 4 reliable instruments record the same incredible story. Radars and thermal sensors detected a phenomenon violating known laws of physics. We found ourselves in a new reality, ready or not, but the probe's trajectory still leads to the closest approach to the sun, and then into the void. A new picture. No one believes it will go unnoticed. Is a simple natural explanation possible? Scientists are desperately searching for it, but with each passing hour, the chances become increasingly unlikely. We stand on the brink of an anxious and frightening revelation. Someone has sent a probe into our system, its technology surpassing ours, having traveled thousands, perhaps millions of years. And now, upon reaching its destination, it has turned on a light. Why? Why now? If civilization can create gravity-defying probes, it surely knows how to hide them. They could remain unnoticed, but chose not to, painting the object in an aggressive, bright red color and emitting a complex, pulsating signal. This is not a coincidence, but a conscious choice. An internal question arises. What is this, and why is it here? The boldest theories are discussed with a seriousness worthy of the most important event. Mike's theory suggests that this message is not meant for us at all. The 300 Atlas is an ancient alarm signal indicating that our system is approaching a dangerous zone of the galaxy or facing an unseen threat. The red light is not hostile to us. It is a sign that movement has ceased. We, like mammals, are merely inhabitants near a guarded object. A dark, mysterious phenomenon could be either a complex machine or a passive spaceship. With a surge of energy and a change of color, the main function begins to operate. Blocks of microscopic self-replicating machines are activated, intended to alter the atmosphere, oceans, or biosphere for future colonization. A hostile redness symbolizes the beginning of the planet's transformation. Most alarming, the creators are watching us right now. This entire situation is a carefully planned disguise as a comet, a dramatic color change, and an incomprehensible signal representing a psychological experiment. They are observing how we react to what is completely beyond our control, inducing fear and aggression. This is the first contact or a harbinger of what we are not ready for.